You see someone across the room you want to talk to, maybe at a party, a coffee shop, or a networking event. You take a deep breath, you start walking over, you feel your heart thumping, and then it happens. Your mind goes completely, utterly blank. It's like a critical system error in your brain. You start desperately overthinking, scrambling for the perfect, witty, unforgettable opening line, and in that hesitation, the moment just vanishes. You've probably been here before. Maybe you've even binge-watched hours of social skills videos, taking notes and feeling prepared, but when the real-world moment comes, you freeze up. The fear of saying the wrong thing, of sounding awkward or boring, is so paralyzing that the safest option feels like saying nothing at all, and another opportunity for connection just slips away. This video is different. We are skipping the vague, abstract theory like be confident or be yourself. By the end of this video, you will have more than 10 exact word-for-word lines you can copy, paste, and test out in the real world this week to start a conversation with practically anyone, anywhere. Before we dive in, let's get one thing straight. The primary goal of small talk isn't to be dazzlingly witty or to have a mind-blowing, life-changing conversation in the first 30 seconds. It's much simpler. It's to signal three fundamental things: safety, similarity, and interest. That's it. You're just trying to show that you're a normal, friendly, approachable person who is open to connecting. So, enough with the lectures and the abstract advice. Here are the real, practical lines you can use in any situation. For each one, I'll give you the one-sentence psychological reason it works so you know exactly why you're saying it.
This first set of lines is your foundation, your go-to openers for breaking the ice with someone you've never met before. Line 1. This might be a bit random, but what's been the best part of your day so far? Why it works? This question prompts for positive affect, immediately framing the conversation around good feelings and happy memories, which is low risk and makes people feel good talking to you. By starting on a positive note, you prime their brain to associate you with good feelings. They might mention something small, like their morning coffee or a song they heard, which gives you an easy and natural topic to ask a follow-up question about. Line 2. At a coffee shop, bookstore, or event, I was thinking of trying that. What made you choose that one? Why it works? This uses choice-based self-disclosure, inviting them to share the rationale behind a small, personal decision, which builds a quick, contextual connection without being invasive or weird. It's brilliant because the question isn't about them personally, but about their choice, which is less intimidating. They can talk about their taste in coffee or books, making it a grounded, low-stakes entry point into a real conversation. Line 3. It's my first time here, and it looks like you know your way around. Any recommendations on what's good? Why it works? You're positioning them as the expert. This suddenly flatters them by valuing their opinion and gives them a very easy and clear role to play in the conversation, which is to be helpful. People generally enjoy being helpful and sharing their knowledge. This works perfectly at places with many options, like a food market or a conference, giving them a chance to shine and creating an instant positive dynamic. Line 4. That's a really cool item they're wearing or holding. Does it have a story behind it? Why it works? It's a specific, observant compliment, followed by an open-ended question, which moves the conversation past a simple thank you and directly invites them to share something more personal, a travel memory, a special gift, or a favorite band. It's a shortcut from observation to connection.
Navigating conversations at work or university requires a slightly different approach. These lines are designed to build rapport and show genuine interest in a professional or academic setting. Line 1. What's the most interesting challenge you're working on right now? Why it works. It bypasses boring, generic status updates and taps into their intrinsic need to feel competent and engaged, allowing them to talk about the part of their work that actually energizes them. This is far more effective than "how's work," which usually gets a one-word answer. It shows you're interested in their mind and their passion, not just their job title, making it a fantastic tool for genuine networking. Line 2. I'm always trying to learn from people. What's a small habit or shortcut you use that has a big impact on your work? Why it works? This is a habit-stealing question. It shows genuine respect for their experience and appeals to their sense of mastery and autonomy by asking them to share practical, hard-won wisdom. This is gold for talking with senior colleagues or professors. It frames you as humble and curious, and people love sharing insider tips they've developed over time. It's a form of mini mentorship that builds rapport instantly. Line 3. Putting work aside for a second, what are you most excited about right now in your life? Why it works? This question signals a desire for a genuine human connection beyond job titles, and it focuses on positive future events, which lifts the mood and reveals their personal passions and what truly drives them. It's a great pivot when a conversation is stuck in work mode. It opens the door to hobbies, travel, or family, showing you see them as a whole person and injecting a dose of forward-looking energy.
Once the conversation is flowing, the next challenge is to move beyond the surface. These lines are your bridge from light small talk to a more genuine and memorable connection. Line 1. When talking about their job or major, that's fascinating. Is that something you always wanted to do, or is it something you kind of fell into? Why it works? This question invites them to share their origin story, tapping into their narrative identity, the story they tell themselves about their life's journey, which is often full of interesting twists and turns. Most people's career paths aren't a straight line. This question gives them permission to talk about the messy, interesting journey, the chance encounters, the passion projects, the surprising changes. This is where you find the real person behind the label. Line 2. What's a piece of advice you've received that's actually stuck with you? Why it works? This asks for distilled wisdom, which encourages a moment of genuine reflection and often reveals a core value or a significant life lesson without being too direct or intrusive. The question is both profound and safe because it's about someone else's advice. The story of why it stuck with them is often more revealing than the advice itself, connecting you both on a much deeper, more human level. Line 3. You seem really passionate about this. What's the biggest thing people misunderstand about it? Why it works? This shows you're listening deeply enough to notice their passion, and it gives them a platform to correct common misconceptions and share what their interest truly means to them on a deeper level. The first part, you seem really passionate, is crucial validation. It makes them feel seen. The question then positions them as the expert, allowing them to share an insider's view. This proves you're not just making small talk, you're genuinely trying to understand.
Every conversation hits a lull eventually, but an awkward silence doesn't have to be the end. These lines are your escape hatch to gracefully restart the conversation and diffuse any tension. Line 1. Smile slightly and say calmly, "My brain just went completely blank for a second there." Why it works? This uses the benign violation principle. By calmly and confidently pointing out the awkwardness, the violation, you make it safe and non-threatening, benign, which diffuses all the tension for both of you. Your delivery is everything. A calm demeanor and slight smile make it a funny, relatable moment. The second you name the awkwardness, it loses its power. It shows you're self-aware and don't take yourself too seriously, and the other person will likely laugh and admit, "Me too." Line 2. After owning the silence, anyway, to totally change the subject, what's something you're looking forward to in the next few weeks? Why it works? This is a powerful revival question that deliberately pivots the conversation to future positives, instantly rebooting the interaction with fresh, optimistic energy and a new topic. The phrase, "to totally change the subject," is your permission slip to hit the reset button. Instead of scrambling to remember the old topic, you create a clean break. By focusing on something positive they're looking forward to, you're guaranteed to land on a topic with built-in good energy. Line 3. On a completely different note, I just realized, make a simple observation about the room. It reminds me of, this externalizes the conversation, making it a shared experience rather than an interview. It's a low-pressure way to co-create a new topic together.
Now, if you find that your conversations start strong with one of these lines, but then consistently die out after 20 or 30 seconds, it's probably not you. It's likely one of 5 common communication mistakes we all make without realizing it. These are subtle conversational roadblocks that kill momentum. I break down exactly what they are and how to fix them in my other video on that topic, which I'll make sure to link for you below. So here's your challenge for this week. Don't try to memorize all of them. Just pick 2 of these lines, 2 that feel the most comfortable for you, and test them out in a real low-stakes conversation. Then come back here and drop a comment letting me know which ones you used and how they worked out. Your feedback, your stories, your successes, that will literally decide if I make a part 2 with even more advanced cheat codes for things like group conversations and handling disagreements. You've got the tools, now go out there and connect.